And we are live. What's up, guys? Teen Talk Live, crazybabytv.com. I don't exactly have anything to really talk about right now. So I'm just gonna touch base on either some crap that's been happening with our so-called president, and then some simple high school crap. So I have my father, an engineer, here with me. I'll talk to him later. So, yeah, I said so like 5 times already. I should probably stop that. But going into my senior year of high school last week, throughout the entire summer, I'm pretty sure me and a lot of my friends were just overthinking it or overhyping it. We're all either just ready to graduate or just not ready to be an adult yet. And that has stemmed some issues, mainly with the drama within the group, because a lot of high school seniors don't realize this is their last year of actually being a child. You're going into the adult world, you're going to be just hit with a bunch of responsibilities. There's college, you gotta apply for all these colleges, financial aid, if you're that broke, student loans, car payments, dorms, room and board, textbooks, all of this just crap. Not to mention, if you go to a high school like mine, you got senior fees, cap and gown, class rings, and all of that mess to deal with. And then instead of focusing on that, a lot of high schoolers, a lot of seniors are just in this petty bullshit where they're just either going out trying to fight people from younger classes. Like, I've seen seniors try to fight freshmen like 3 weeks into the school year for no reason. Or they're just trying to sleep with whoever they can, aside from doing a bunch of just dumb shit. They're either out drinking, smoking, just getting into a bunch of drama when they should be focusing on the life that's ahead of them. So I kind of wanted to touch base on that. Not to mention, instead of focusing on classes and grades, they're chasing either some female or some nigga. Like, half of my friends, honestly. I don't know why I associate myself with that, but yeah. I'm not gonna name names, but you really need to crack down, focus on getting through life instead of constantly chasing some person that will probably just up and leave you at some point. And you really need to just get your grades together, start working and save enough money so you can go to college, afford someplace to live on your own, because if you have parents like mine, you're out at 18, whether you graduate or not. You getting kicked out. They don't care. So I'm going to have my dad talk about that, actually. Ken, if you could look up from your phone.
All lies. All lies. I'm not kicking anybody out.
I don't live with you. You can't kick me out.
No way. We're not kicking nobody out. So, yeah, but 18, yeah, y'all better get it together. Graduate. You got one job. Finish school. That's your only job. Finish school.
It honestly, it bothers me that there are students who are just working their asses off, and they're just barely passing. And then you have these other kids that are just going out drinking and partying who are getting straight A's somehow. All because either they're just sitting there cheating, or there's some form of teacher bias. Doesn't matter.
You're probably cheating.
Mainly, I'm honestly behind that. A class that cheats together walks together.
Well, cheating ain't going to get you very far in life.
True.
But we used to have a motto when I was in high school: you fake it till you make it. And unfortunately for us back then, it was easy. But you can't fake that shit now. They wanna see that you finish school, and technology makes it so that there's a lot of stuff you can't fake anymore. So you got to do the work. And I highly endorse doing the work and finishing school properly.
The thing is, with school now, a lot of the things we're being taught don't always apply to what we're doing with our lives. School was originally, founded to train factory workers. We're not all going to be factory workers and engineers, so a lot of this stuff doesn't branch off into what we're going to do with our lives. So we're not learning how to balance our checkbooks, how to do our taxes, or how to just live. We're learning how to factor equations and some random science crap that I'm not going to use in my life.
This is true. I agree. I've seen some of the homework you bring home.
Yeah.
And
I need help with that, by the way. Math is not my strong suit.
Huh?
Help with that, though? Because, the way math is set up.
I can't help you with that.
See?
I can hire a tutor. That's about it. I've seen some of that stuff y'all do now. I don't know what y'all are on now.
This is why we're all cheating. No one knows what it is.
I don't know. Your dad's an old man now, and I'm lost on that stuff that y'all are doing. But hey, do your best. I can encourage you. I can give you love.
You can support me when I drop out.
I can support you financially. But you got to do the work.
So on the other topic with teens and just chasing these females and niggas, what do you have to say about that?
Well, all I can say to the young girls out there is it ain't worth it. Leave the little boys alone. Focus on getting your education. And make your own money. You get out there and make your own money so you don't have to depend on some useless ass dude. And stop chasing these guys that don't work, these guys that claim they out there hustling or whatever, doing whatever they do. Leave them alone. Leave them alone because they ain't no good for you. There's no future in it. So just focus on you, get your life together, and one day if it's meant for you to be with the right one, you'll find the right one. But a lot of these kids now are having babies way too young, and they're not prepared for what that brings.
If you could see how many girls in my freshman class were pregnant.
I can believe it. I'm not surprised. I mentor a lot of young guys here in town, and some of these little knuckleheads, man, I just don't understand what you kids are, where your heads are at right now. I can't figure that out. But I couldn't even imagine half the stuff that y'all get into these days. Because when I was that age, one, we weren't exposed to so much. We didn't have the internet when I was a teenager. And we didn't have mobile phones and tablets. We had to go outside and play. And then sometimes we had to play by ourselves and be creative. I had a lot of imaginary friends when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, I was extremely creative until I hit, middle school.
Then what happened?
It's just started to die.
Well, creativity is something, it's just like a muscle. You gotta exercise it. So if you don't focus on the creative side of your brain, it gets weak.
But, then again, that goes back to school. We're not really given that opportunity. They just, we have no time out in school or outside of school to be creative unless you have, certain electives. You get, 30 minutes of theater or band, and then that's it. And even then, it's no, this is mandatory, this is a grade, you need to be able to do this. So it stresses you out to the point where a lot of kids just don't want to do it anymore. I write, and even now, I'm just losing interest in it.
Now, I do have a problem with school now, because they're cutting a lot of programs, and then a lot of the programs that they are keeping, they're asking the parents to finance it. If the parents aren't bankrolling the football team and the baseball teams and volleyball and all the other stuff that y'all do, it don't happen. And I can't understand why the schools are so pressed for money when they get all of these dollars from all over the place. Every time I see one of those lottery signs and they talk about how many billions have gone to education and this, that, or the other, and I just don't understand where all the money goes. But maybe it's up to us to find out.
Like
Maybe.
they say that, and then you see the marching band going out and fundraising so they can go to their competitions.
That's true. The bands, the football teams, I see them out there with buckets, begging for change. And, it's not something I'm used to because when I was coming up, we didn't have to do that. We paid taxes, and the taxes were always enough to, cover the activities of school.
Like, not only that, the classes you guys had taught you life skills. You guys had shop class and everything where we were just sitting in on computers.
That's true. We had shop. We had home economics. Yeah, we did have stuff that was more suited toward getting us ready for life. And that is another problem I have now with the school board. I don't know how it is outside of Florida, but I know St. Lucie County, unfortunately, kind of sucks. But I don't know. I've yelled about it. I know your mom has yelled about it. I know other parents that have gone to the meetings and yelled about it, but it seems like nothing's getting changed. So I don't know what to do.
I feel like nothing's going to change unless the students themselves protest.
Probably.
Like at Keanu School, didn't they protest when they tried to like shut down something?
Yeah, they did. I can't remember exactly what it was.
I think it was prom.
But they did hold a sit-in or something like that, or they marched or something. But it worked. They got what they wanted in the end. So maybe there needs to be more civil unrest in the schools.
Like that doesn't mean go out and start rioting, but if the communities within the school could just rally together and organize something, then we could stand up for things we believe in. We could gain back those privileges that the school has just taken. Like even
For sure.
Like my freshman year when I started at Westwood, we were able to use our phones at lunch and in the morning before class. Now you can't do that.
Right. Well, you shouldn't be able to use well, at lunch and recess and stuff like that, I can see.
Like, just in class, no, but before school started, before that first bell rang and at lunch, we were allowed to use our phones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I understand. Yeah, I mean, it's a different time now. And, me as a parent, I feel like, we got to adjust our mindset and our thinking. But, we still need to institute some of those old-fashioned ways because there's no discipline, among the kids now. Kids are just running wild, doing what they want to do. But then we got a lot more kids raising kids now, too. So it's kind of a generational thing, I guess. That's the biggest part of the problem. But I don't have an answer for you. I just do my best to be a hands-on dad and try to be as involved in your life as possible. And unfortunately, other parents aren't like that. So, it's something that I guess it comes with the changing times or whatever, but it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, wait, no, I want to touch back on the whole dating thing, though, because a lot of people, they don't realize the double standard there is when it comes to dating.
What's the double standard?
Mainly, girls will they will date some guy, drag him through hell, then paint him to be an asshole when they break up with him.
Okay.
So
that's typical teenager stuff, right?
And then that goes on to adulthood. I've seen some of my closest friends just get dogged by this girl, and then everyone turns on him when they break up.
Well, it's up to that guy to stand up for himself. If he's not going to man up and let his voice be heard, and let everybody know who he is, then that's pretty much on him. I mean, you can't control what anybody else does. So when people break up, that ex girlfriend or ex boyfriend or whatever, they're gonna do whatever they do. You can't control that. So only thing you can control is what you do and how you move forward. So hey, if if these girls continue to dog these guys and these guys let them, then that's the problem they need to figure out. Me personally, I ain't let nobody bother me.
Honestly, my main issue with dating is I hate couples, like, in general. If I'm friends with a couple, I like them individually, but when they're together, I just cannot stand those two people.
Well, you shouldn't be friends with couples anyway. See, that's, you're either friends with one or the other.
Like, I hang out with these two people. One of them, I'll be hanging, like, she'll invite me to stay with her, and then, we'll be fine. And then she spends the entire time on the phone with the significant other instead of talking to the person that they invited over. Or you guys will go out, and then they're just, like, standing off to the side making out. You're just sitting there alone.
Something you'll learn as you get older and more mature is that married people should hang with married people, couples should hang with couples, and single people should hang with single people. Usually when you find couples that got too many single friends, they got problems in their relationship.
That's actually true. Like, I'm literally couples counselor at school.
See, so whenever you find yourself in that situation, just look back and say, wait a minute. If you're coupled up with somebody, make sure you tell all your single friends that things ain't the same. Things ain't the way they used to be.
Honestly, that's something I literally just hate couples. But at the same time, I want to be in one. Like, I'm honestly I think I'm talking to this girl right now. I don't know. She's confusing me somewhat. But even now, when we're, like, just talking, I'm literally just shutting down people, telling them to just go away and leave me alone.
Well, you don't have to be mean or rude about it.
Oh, I'm not. But the second they don't stop, they're getting cussed out.
I got you. Well, you just gotta walk your own path, though. You know what I'm saying? So do you, and don't really care about what anybody else thinks or what anybody else says. You gotta live your life. But like I said, couples shouldn't be hanging with single people, because usually it's the single people that cause the couple's problem. Well, not really causes their problems, but you got a lot of people that are in relationships that probably shouldn't be in relationships because they really ain't not mature enough.
Yep.
And so they have those single person tendencies. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta, but they're not fully committed to the relationship. They still want to hold on to things that they did when they were single. See, and that's why a lot of relationships fall apart. If you're with somebody, you got to be with that person.
Oh, especially in high school.
Yeah, well, teenagers are going to be teenagers, so.
Teenagers are going to be hoes.
Y'all are just wild like that, so I ain't even got no answers for y'all.
So my message to the freshmen, that senior you're talking to, they don't want you. They're just trying to fuck you. So you need to chill. You're gonna get pregnant, and it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun. So I'm gonna tell you right now, don't bring no babies, because I ain't ready to be no grandfather. So.
Well, I'm gay, so that's not gonna happen.
No, don't say not. Don't say never. Stranger things have happened.
I mean, unless this girl has a dick that I don't know about. So, our president.
Oh, yeah. See, the reason we got Donald Trump is because a lot of young people didn't get involved in the elections.
Or they wrote in Harambe.
Yeah, and or stayed home.
Yeah.
on election day. I bet your ass is Miss Obama now, though.
So, like, what's going on with that march in Charlottesville? Like, what is that?
Charlottesville is quiet right now.
What was that?
Everything's going down in Boston today, though.
Oh God,
Boston
what's happening in Boston?
March. Yeah, see, but young people need to get involved in this stuff. You need to be aware of what's happening. Some of these guys that I mentor, most of them just don't care. And I'm like, how can you not care? You live in the same world we all live in. You should care. And I know my old ass cares because, what's going to happen when I'm too old to take care of myself? We leaving the world to y'all. And if y'all don't care, man, it's kind of scary to think what the world's going to be like.
Honestly. But his military ban.
Yeah, there's nothing to say for 45. In fact, from this day forward, I will no longer call him President Trump. He is 45.
You've been calling him president? I haven't.
On occasions. It depends on the context, but from here on forward, he's always 45. So.
As a transgender person who was actually looking at the military for a future, like as a future possibility, honestly, he needs to just pack up, go back to the chocolate factory with his orange ass.
I don't recommend anybody sign up for any military service for the next,
even the military leaders are looking at him like, what the hell?
Because I got a real bad feeling that if he does stay in office, we're probably going to end up in a real bad war.
With that being said, are you ready for the upcoming nuclear winter?
Yes. Yeah. I got a new coat and everything.
We're going to die. There are fallout shelters in Florida.
I got my new radiation jacket. I'm going to pick up some socks next week.
High school hasn't prepared me for this.
Let's see. We won't need any fallout shelters. If it goes down, we're going to hop on a boat, head out to sea, a sailboat. So we ain't got to worry about gas. But we're going to hijack a sailboat, load it up, make sure we got fishing poles and all that good stuff. And also one of those things that makes fresh water from the salt water.
Oh, water purifier?
Desalinization plant. That's what they call them. Make sure the boat has one of those on it. And we'll just head out to sea.
Just like a full-on Walking Dead.
And head south. Yes. South of the equator. Because everything up top is going to be like pretty bad.
North Korea, don't kill us. We didn't ask. Half of us didn't ask for this, man.
No, North Korea is not going to do nothing.
North Korea.
Did you see the post?
I don't know which one it is. No, I didn't.
Oh, I posted a picture. It was Kim Jong-un looking through some binoculars, and he said he told his general, he said, "Tell the troops to fall back. Donald Trump is destroying America himself." So,
like, we didn't ask for this.
Old Mr. 45 is doing a good enough job of making America great again, right?
I hate the country at this point.
Make America great. It's funny? Those white supremacists in Charlottesville the other day, they were showing some of them jokers on TV, and they run around chanting, and claiming to be supreme, or genetically superior.
That sounds like some Aryan Hitler shit right there.
Yeah, but you see that toothless, stinking trailer trash, and I know I shouldn't say this about people, but they're just the worst inbred human being I've ever seen in my life. And they run around trying to act like they're some genetically superior race or whatever. And I'm like, wow, come on. If that's what being genetically superior is, then I am grateful for what I am right now. I will be inferior till the day I die. Because if that's the example we have of being genetically superior, I don't want none of that.
So you're really accepting with like your children's sexualities, right?
Hey, my kids are my kids, you know, and they're always you're always gonna be my child. So I'm gonna love you regardless. That doesn't mean that I'm always happy about, what y'all do and the paths that y'all choose. But hey, you got to live your life. You got to be who you are.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna, whatever you choose to do. Like I used to tell your brother, I said, be the best. Whatever it is, even if you choose to be a criminal, be the best. You know, I mean, you don't want to be no half-wit. You know what I mean? So as long as you're striving to be the best at whatever you choose for yourself, hey, I got you. I may not be there to, support you, holding your hand on everything, but I'm still gonna be proud of you because you're my child.
All right. So like recently, someone close to me had the audacity to hit me with the line, "You're not gay. You just haven't found the right guy yet." How would you how would you advise like your children to respond to that?
Ignore 'em.
It's like,
why even dignify it with a response? Just ignore it.
No, I'm gay. Okay, back off, Susan.
It's not like you got to prove anything to anybody.
I'm at the point in my life where I have just been called so many like weird things, or people have either tried to tell me what my sexuality is, or if they were just like, "You're going to hell, you're Satan." I'm like, okay, lit.
Well, if they ever say you're going to hell, tell them you're already there. Damn it.
I mean,
but the thing is this: you can't control what comes out of anybody else's mouth.
True.
You can't control what anybody has on their mind.
I can't control how many teeth they have left.
So the only thing you should worry about is you and which way you're going and what's good for you. And nobody else knows better than you for you than you. And there's a lot of people that aren't going to like what you do or like, the things that you choose for yourself. And that's all right. Everybody's free to their own opinion, So you just got to live your life, That's the best advice I can give you, I mean, you got you got too many, it takes too much energy, to haggle with somebody and go through all this drama and bull crap. So, whatever you do for yourself, that's what you do. Your sister tells me she reminds me all the time she's grown. And you know what? I have to sit back and say, you know what? You're right. I'm going to let you be grown. You know what I'm saying? And your big brother, he's doing his thing, and he calls me every day, and we talk about a lot of different things, and most of the time I just listen because hey, he's a grown ass man. He's gonna do what he got to do, and you got a few more months, and legally you're gonna be grown.
God,
and
being an adult is hard. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
You got to start planning for that because life don't stop and that don't slow down for nobody. The world is going to keep on spinning, and as long as you're in it, you got to be prepared for what it brings. So you got to start getting yourself ready, and because the real life is very unforgiving, and if you don't get your mind right and get yourself prepared, it'll eat you up. And here I am, 51 years old, and I've had a pretty good life, and but it's hard. It's hard every day. And it gets harder as I get older, because as I get older, I become less valuable to society. You know what I'm saying? People got a real short shelf life. So society only looks at you for a few short years, and if you don't get it within those few short years, it's a wrap for a lot of us.
I mean, society is trash anyway, though.
This is probably true.
Probably.
It is what it is right now until somebody young like you comes along and changes the world. So.
Oh no, I'm gonna start a business with my friend. We're gonna open a restaurant. We're not gonna advertise what the menu is. Actually, no, we are. But people are gonna come in. We're not gonna serve anything on the menu. They're gonna like come in expecting barbecue, get hit with a bowl of cereal.
Well, you ain't gonna be in business for very long.
You ordered Frosted Flakes? Here's some ravioli.
Yeah, you're gonna be right out of business the first day. You'll be shut down.
That'd be hilarious, though. I feel like that could be something you open on a college campus just to make people laugh.
Yeah, right. That sounds like something y'all would do, though.
So I want to touch base on like stress and mental illness in teens.
What about it?
Because you've seen recently, like I've been extremely stressed and depressed, like to the point where I've had anxiety and panic attacks in class and had to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's mainly because a lot of teenagers are either afraid to talk to someone about it, or when they do, they're cast off, pushed aside, and just told that there's nothing wrong with them, and not taken to get it checked out.
Well, from my upbringing, if I had to rest on my experiences, I'd say get over it, because that's what we were told growing up.
But that makes it worse. Because
I'm a different kind of father, and I understand the problems that you go through. I talk to you, and so I may not always have the right answers, but I think the most important thing is that parents need to start listening to the kids.
Like, honestly, there have been so many times in just my sophomore year where a friend of mine would come to me because their parents wouldn't listen.
Right.
And they would just talk to me about how they're feeling and that they're depressed. And I would help them more than their parents would help them. I've talked so many of, like, my friends or just random people at school out of suicide or out of just doing something stupid because they feel like they have nowhere else to turn to. Like, you can't really trust schools because the second you talk about it, they're calling parents, then the students getting yelled at, and everything just gets piled on and it gets worse.
Right.
So how do you feel school should go about that when a student comes to them with something like that?
Well, I think first you got to figure out who it is you can talk to. I think that's the biggest problem is that a lot of kids don't feel like they have anybody to talk to.
Yeah, I don't trust any of my guidance counselors.
And it's unfortunate, especially when they can't go talk to their own parents, because that should be the parent should be the go-to people for any child.
A lot of time, if a student goes to a guidance counselor at school and be like, "Hey, I'm having this problem at home," and it's my parents, the first thing they do is call the parent.
I know that's kind of dumb too. It's kind of self-defeating, but they have to. I mean, because that's what the law says.
Oh, stupid.
And it's unfortunate, that that is that way.
Like, the law doesn't consider that when a student or child says it's the parent, that calling that parent is putting that child in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have to stay with that parent until the investigation is closed.
That's right.
So at any given moment, the parent can do something to that child to make them just backtrack.
And it happens every day. It does. And it's sad, it's real sad. But hey, that's just one of the flaws in our system that definitely needs to be fixed. What I would recommend is go into politics and be that politician for change. Go after or be the activist or start a group or something. To address those issues. That's definitely something that needs to be addressed. More openly and more regularly, because that's a very valid. That's a very valid point. because parents could be dangerous to the kids. The kids can be dangerous to the parents too. It happens both ways.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of parents that want these dangerous behind kids out their house, but they can't throw them out. They lock the parent up. So
like you have to legally have that child evicted.
Yeah, and like really the problem is the government's too involved in our households. The government needs to stay out of private issues and but then again, if we don't have some sort of regulation, stuff runs amok the other way, gets out of control either way. So I don't know. There's no easy answer for any of that. So I'm not really sure, what the solution would be, but it's definitely something that should be addressed.
Another thing that I hate when it comes to, parents and their children is, like, child, they're afraid to stand up for themselves when it comes to certain things, because in their minds they're like, okay, this is my parent, this person raised me, they fed me, but I'm not comfortable doing what they're asking me to do. But I can't, like, they feel like they can't say no. Like they feel like they have to say yes to this because that's a parent.
Right.
Like in certain situations, there's some things you're not comfortable doing, you don't feel safe doing, or you just don't want to do. And but then the parent comes saying, you have to, because I say so, I'm your parent.
Right.
Like, are we not allowed to exercise the right to say no?
Are you allowed to?
Yeah. Because, like, the second we say no, we get yelled at. It's like, I'm the authority, I'm your parent, you have to because I say so.
Depends on what you're being told to do. I mean, yeah, there's, as a minor, yeah, you have to be obedient, but the parents asking you to do something that's just, if it's something dangerous or illegal or anything like that, no, you absolutely don't have to do that. Common sense. But I mean, if parents telling you, yo, clean up your room, take the trash out, do this, that, or the other, take care of your chores around the house, you damn skippy, you got to do that. That's not asking you to do anything more than what you're supposed to do anyway as part of the family household. However, what's a problem is when you have parents who favor one child over the other, or when you got multiple children that are not given equal chores or equal shares around the home but it's a fine line. Older kids need to set the examples for the younger kids. But everybody has to understand that a family union has to work together. There has to, and there is a chain of command, so to speak. And the parents are at the top of that chain. Parents are responsible for you. And until you're 18. Once you turn 18, then you're a legal adult at that point. But then. You still got to find some sort of happy medium, because if you plan on staying at home, then obviously, there's going to be certain rules to the household that needs to be adhered to. So
I mean, I know come January, I'm out of my mom's house.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That'd be your choice though too, so and you'd be okay to do that. So
it's like with the favoritism thing, I'm not gonna lie, that's how I feel. Like
right.
I feel like that's what's going on with, me, my mom, and my younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and it might be,
like she may not realize it.
Right. And you're very right. She may not realize
but it's what's going on.
The younger brother's the baby. He's her baby, and just like you're my youngest, and sometimes you know, your older brother and sister feel like I favor you a little bit too much. But I tell them like this, you know, all of you got the same level of love and attention growing up, just in different ways because you were all individuals and you're all different in what your needs and requirements were. Um, now that those two are grown and out of the house and doing their thing, you're all I got left. So yes, of course, more of my attention goes to you.
I'm also the only one that you see, 'cause I'm the only one still in Fort Pierce.
You know, but even when they were here, though, you still, um, you know, in these later years, you got more of the focus, as opposed to the other two, as they were getting ready to transition into adult life. Um, and that's just the way it is, though. I mean, that's not to say there's right or wrong, you know. Um, but I think, it's very easy for a parent, to lose sight uh, of the needs and desires of the older kids, especially when you got younger kids in the household too. So, so it really comes down though to that communication, and between the child and the parent. You gotta figure out, how to communicate those feelings, without it being a conflict. And unfortunately, that's not always possible because, for whatever reasons, some parents, hold some sort of animosity or they got some other things going on in their lives. They might be stressed out about things, and unfortunately, a lot of times that older child will catch the brunt of that frustration. Um, I'm not saying it's right, but it's a fact of life that it happens, so.
I mean, honestly, with what's going on with me now, it's just me, mom, and my younger brother in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie. He and I, we fight a lot. We probably shouldn't. We fight over things that we really shouldn't fight about.
You definitely shouldn't fight with your younger brother.
Yeah, but like in all honesty, like I don't hate him. I mean, I always like him at times, but he's my little brother. I love him. Something like we'll argue. Something goes down though. I'll stand up for them. I'll speak up for him. I'll like keep anyone from messing with him, like as best as I can. But at the same time, he's physically bigger than me. He's stronger than me, and I'm honestly afraid of my younger brother because he can physically hurt me.
Yeah, and that's a problem. I mean, you're not supposed to be afraid of your siblings anyway. But you're 17. Your little brother's what, 10 or 11?
11.
11, right? And yeah, he's a big dude, big dude, but he's still 11,
But at the same time though, he has the mouth and attitude of a 17-year-old. Like the things he has said to me, and then I'll go. Our moms will be like, "Hey, if he says or just does this, come to me." And then I go to her. And it's, you're 17, you need to be able to just walk away. I don't want to hear this. And just, I'll get pushed aside. And then when it happens again and I yell, I get in trouble.
Yeah. I see it happen sometimes, and that's something that y'all three definitely have to work out, though, in that situation.
Like, that's my main reason of just trying to get out of the house so quickly. Because I know who I am.
Right.
You're quick to snap if someone comes to you wrong. She's quick to snap if someone comes at her wrong.
Right.
So being your child, I'm exactly like that, but worse.
Yeah, that's right. You definitely got that honesty.
So I don't honestly, I'm extremely honest. That's what I'm known for at school. I won't lie to you. I won't beat around the bush. I will be brutally honest with you. I don't care if you like it or not. If you ask me something, I'm gonna tell you. And with that, I'll snap back quick. My brother will say something to me, he'll get yelled at. My mom, she'll say something to me, she'll get snapped on. Because I've been bullied the majority of my life, so now that I'm older, I'm
Right.
big on standing up for myself.
Mhm.
I don't back down no matter who you are.
Right.
I'm big on being respected. Like, I don't buy into the respect your elders thing. If I will respect you as you respect me.
Yeah, well, definitely. Respect has to be earned. Um, but I grew up in a different time where, it was just a given. You were if they're older than you, you respected them because they were older than you.
I mean, but
You
now
know,
you'll see.
if there was ever if there was ever a problem with another adult, you go back to your parents and you tell them, say, yo, so and so, whatever.
I feel
and
like
let
with the
your
way the
parents
world
deal
is
with
now,
that.
though, that
Yeah.
has to change because you see adults just out in the streets yelling and snapping
Mhm.
at random kids.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, nowadays it's a lot different because also when I was your age, you know, I could get my behind whooped by the next door neighbor, and then I was gonna go home and get my behind whooped by moms and pops too, if I was cutting up. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, we were literally raised by the whole neighborhood. You know, uh, um, Miss, Mr. and Mrs. Gray across the street. That was mom and dad when mom and dad wasn't around. Miss Gauze on the other corner, she was mom if mom and dad wasn't around. So everybody within that little, community right there that we lived in, we was all family.
Like, that's the issue with
Now,
kids
though,
now. Like,
now half these jokers don't even know who their next door neighbor is.
honestly, I just barely, growing up, I didn't really go outside because the street we grew up on, me, Nene, and Keanu were the only kids on the street. So
Yeah.
there's no one to talk to, no one to hang out with. The only other kid on the street that I would talk to, she would have occasionally beat me up. Now I see her at school and, she doesn't say anything.
Right.
So, my only friend would beat me up.
Yeah,
To the point where I just started staying in the house, and I got really into video games.
Yeah, that's another problem with video games. Kids aren't developing any social skills no more.
I mean, unless you consider online and we're cussing each other out.
Yeah.
Because Call of Duty.
Social media ain't really social media because there ain't nothing social about it.
No, we're just posting fights.
Throwing hands. It's just crazy. It's just crazy now. I don't know. The world's changing. Everything's changing, and it's changing too fast.
I know.
Nobody's really had a chance to adjust to those changes because it did happen so fast.
Like, growing up now, I used to, when we lived in the apartments, yeah, I would go outside. I did end up having to fight some chick because she put her hands on me, and there was a bully, but I would go outside. I would try to talk to people. Now, as I got older, I just stopped talking to people. I don't really know how to hold conversations with my peers. I can talk to an adult better than I can talk to someone my age.
Right.
Like, honestly.
I'd hate to be a kid now.
Bro, now it's either you're really social or you're just, off in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I could be a kid now and survive, to tell you the truth. Y'all are a lot tougher than we were, because we didn't have all this crap that goes on now, and it's funny. I was talking to my dad before he went to Jersey, and he was trying to tell me about what was going on in the streets of Fort Pierce right now. I'm like, Pop, you have no idea.
Bro,
You're like 74 years old. You have no idea what's happening. I said, I'm in these streets every day, with these guys that I mentor, and I'm interacting with people in these streets every day, and it's nothing like, what you experienced or what you think it is, and it really is different. Times are different, and a lot of circumstances are different. And these kids are dealing with some real issues that I never even thought about when I was a teenager.
Like, at this point in my life, I have one group of people that I talk to in school. Outside of school, there may be 3 or 4 people that I will actively go out of my way to talk to and try to make plans with. I mean, honestly, the only people I've hung out with or like stayed the night at their house is Phoenix and this girl Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I honestly probably don't talk to you. One of my friends lives 2 streets away, and I don't hang out with him. I just talk to him in school and at the bus stop, or like over Snapchat.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Like I come home, I try to get as much as I can understand done with my homework. Wait for my little brother to come home, then I go to sleep, and then repeat.
Well, again, times are different now. And we probably need to get back to some of those old school ways.
Like, yeah, but at the same time, like the method that I'm doing, it's not the best for my social life, but at the same time, it's keeping me out of this teenage drama. I have no issues with anyone,
right?
Unless they're just not liking how honest I am with them, which isn't going to change. Be mad, I don't care.
Right.
Other than that, though, just no one bothers me.
And it's probably best to stay inside nowadays because, kids out here in the streets right now, man, are crazy. They're killing each other over real estate they don't own, over Facebook beefs,
My question
Snapchat
is,
beefs.
Where are these like high school freshmen and any high school student? Where are they finding time to go out, get guns, get weed, or to have sex? I can't even find the time to eat. Like, what is your secret? I need all this extra time.
They're not going to school.
No, I've seen some kids that will be at school. They'll have like perfect attendance.
Well, yeah. Then after school, though,
and then they're just like, yeah, like oh.
After school, they're not doing homework. They're not doing none of the things that, their parents aren't. They don't have any parents at home to really supervise them. A lot of these kids are raising themselves.
It is insane.
Or parents aren't spending enough time with them for one.
Or when like kids with just great parents who are always there for them, looking out for them, they'll just be out, or they'll be on top of their grades. Like they'll have parents that will just like, hey, you got good grades? Here's like $30. Kids with parents like that, still out there doing the same thing.
Yeah, some
like
of them.
Why?
Who knows? Who knows why teens do what they do now? Y'all do a lot of things now that I could never imagine when I was a teenager.
Hell, I have good parents, like good supporting parents, who are just like almost no issue between us. Not exactly great, like where I want to be with my grades, but I'm not failing. I'm not dropping out. And then I'm just not messed up.
You ain't dropping out.
I'm not dropping out.
That ain't an option.
Like, even if I don't graduate on time, I'm not going to drop out. There's no point. It can't do anything if I drop out. I'd rather graduate late and then still be able to work and everything than give up my education and just sit there.
No, that education is super, super important.
Even if they're not teaching us anything to use in life.
But hey, it is what it is. Life is rough, and we gotta do what we gotta do, and just keep living every day. Do the best we can.
Yeah. So, but honestly though, the school system is just messed up.
Well, it's not gonna get better though until those involved makes it better.
Can we protest school lunch?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Like, I don't eat at school. That's bad.
I heard it's pretty bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
I think Westwood gets their school. Y'all get your lunch from the food bank or somewhere, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure last week we had overcooked noodles and Kraft cheese or something like that. I don't know. I don't eat at school.
Which to me is a damn shame because the school system should not be getting food from the food bank. The food bank food should be going to homeless people and less fortunate families, so forth and so on. But this multi-billion-dollar school board that we have here should have it within their budget to be getting food, what I would say the normal way they get. But I don't know. There's so much fraud, waste, and abuse going on within the system, within the school board. Like I said, I don't know where all the money goes because it damn sure ain't going to the schools.
Like I made you bring me lunch the entirety of sophomore year.
Yeah, that
like
ain't happening this year.
It should. I don't eat, man.
That's an expensive prospect. You might have to start brown bagging it.
Brown bags are gross.
Do like we did. Get a lunchbox.
You will get roasted so hard if you have a lunchbox at Westwood.
I had a Scooby Doo lunchbox.
Nerd.
It looked just like the Mystery Machine.
I saw the Mystery Machine in real life. It was great. Okay, no, religion.
I don't talk religion.
No, well, you about to. Because we need to talk about all the contradictions that are in the Christian religion.
Why not just the Christian religion, all of these religions.
But mainly the Christian religion. They go from talking about a man shouldn't lie with another man, straight to love thy neighbor and all that crap. I'm not Christian. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, especially we create man in our image. Who's the rest of these people if there's only one God?
See?
Zeus? Is that you?
I asked that same question when I was a kid.
Like, that's honestly why I'm not a Christian. I don't think I've exactly told my mother this because she's really a Christian. I follow the Greek religion because it just makes so much more sense.
God, the Bible makes sense. People just interpret it wrong. The gods, they were aliens. We're all test tube babies. We were all genetically created in a laboratory.
We're just gonna find out like the hard way that
like clones.
This is just like a reality show for aliens. No, like this is all scripted.
Yeah, we're all clones. That's what we are. I mean, it says it. God, let us create man in our own image. That's what I said. All right, either it was a group of people, or God is schizophrenic. Take your pick.
I've had like a long ass conversation with my friend about this exact topic. Like, religion is just so stupid.
And I know a lot of y'all Christians out there listening right now saying, "Hey, Ken, how could you even say that?"
Oh, I really want to see how many people get mad because of this. Come at me.
Yeah.
Roast me.
It is what it is. And I'm going to be real. All that stuff they teach you in church, hey, I'm not saying don't go to church or nothing like that. I don't get involved with churches. I think a lot of these churches are majorly fraudulent, But hey, whatever floats your boat.
Bro, there's so many churches down here.
Makes you feel good and helps you wake up in the morning, then more power to you.
How many churches do you think are at Fort Pierce alone?
Fort Pierce has the most churches per capita.
And everyone is the first one.
Yeah. And notice that, right? We got the first of everything in Fort Pierce. And, Fort Pierce got a lot of churches. There's like, all right, City Block got 4 corners. Fort Pierce got a church on all 4 corners of every city block in this 2.7 square miles.
Every single one of them was the First Baptist.
First Baptist, First Haitian, First, what's that one on, there's one on Avenue D, it's the First Protestant Firehouse.
Firehouse?
Something.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that one church to come like, oh, we're second, actually, so.
Yeah, oh, man. Yeah, we got a lot of churches in Fort Pierce. Damn shame, too, because ain't nobody getting saved.
For real.
I can't figure that out. I, I, all these churches and all this, godliness in Fort Pierce, and I don't see nothing but sin and Satanism all day long. It's crazy.
Hey, at this point, I've seen so many things where Satanism makes more sense than Christianity. Like, the Satanic Bible says you can't sleep with someone without permission, where the Christian Bible is just like, go for it. Let go.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to talk about this on my show. Because,
it's hilarious.
A lot of the parents that are watching might not like what I got to say.
I don't give a damn.
So but they can watch my show and find out what I feel about God and Satan and all that stuff.
The preacher who has asked the community to fund his BMW.
Hey, I'm about to get me a GoFundMe page going.
At the start of church.
Yeah. I need to build that new cafeteria wing, to my church. I don't have a name for it yet, but it's probably going to be the first something.
It'll be the realest church ever.
Yeah, it'll be real, all right. Yeah, it'll be real. The first real get money Pentecostal.
You'll be referencing the Nicolaitans 1738.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So anyway, I got to get up out of here.
That's our show. We've been here for like an hour. I'm tired.
So tell your audience thank you for watching and all that good stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'll run a couple of quick commercials on here for you too, because today's show was brought to you by, let's see, who's sponsored today? Today was sponsored by, let's see.
Before you do that, before you do that, I'm selling shirts.
Right?
Yes.
$25.
Oh, yeah, got to get those Hood Star shirts.
Yeah, Hood Star.
Hood Star Entertainment is in the house, all right?
I'm not wearing my hat. I should be.
As a matter of fact, Ali is coming through tonight. No, tomorrow. He'll be flying in tomorrow from Jersey. We got some things going on here. Hood Star Entertainment. If you haven't checked it out yet, get a copy of that new single from Hood Star South, featuring Lil Keem and Rampage. And you can get that at hoodstarent365.com. Go check that out. Also, y'all need to check out the new movie release, Dirty Money, from a boy Slim G and his wifey Foxy Slim up there in ATL. And that's the Dirty Money the movie, and it's now available on www.starvisionfilmstv.com. So go ahead and cop that. And if you're here in Port St. Lucie and you need to record, you need to come on through Lyrical Legends Recording Studios. That's where we're broadcasting from right now. We specialize in everything. We are the dopest recording studio here in South Florida, damn it.
Yeah,
we're not big, but we make big noise. All right? And also, one more, that new single release from Jeddah, straight out of ATL. Why you be texting me that? Go pick that up at www.driveoverdoubt.com. And you can find it also at Apple iTunes, Google Music, Amazon Music, and all your biggest online retailers. All right, so go cop that. Why are you texting me that by Jeddah? All right, so what else you got?
I think that's it. Buy a shirt, man. I'm trying to pay for college. Help me out. Trying to get out of Fort Pierce, please.
Yeah, those Hood Star T-shirts, you can get them. We have them right here in stock. send us an email if you'd like to pick one up. Um, and let's see, send an email to the studio here at lyricallegendsrs@gmail.com. And we'll hook you up. They're just $25. And they're dope. Everybody's a hood star. We turning negatives into positives. All right?
So yeah, I think that's it. This has been Teen Talk. I'm Kiara. This is Ken from
That's me.
the I Am Ken Jackson show. Check that out.
All right. We catch y'all later.
Awkward
Peace.
ass outro.
We out.